you've probably said it before, right? Take a big breath, take a deep breath, down, and not only does your child not do that, but they might meet it with some resistance, maybe even throwing something, just escalating things, right? So, why does this happen? Quite simply, when your child is in that state of dysregulation, they're in their stress responses, that thinking side of their brain, the logical side, it's offline. It is not available. So they might know the thing to do is take a deep breath, but in that moment, it's just they're not thinking with that, and their feeling brain is in control. So I go more into like the differences between a tantrum and a meltdown in my blog post, which I will link in the notes. But what's going on is they can't access this information. And if we're trying to teach them a different breathing practice, teach them something new, teach them how to calm down during that stressful moment, it's not going to land. They're not in this place to learn a new skill, and they might not even be in the place to practice a skill that you've already practiced. Okay, so what do we want to do? Basically, we want to help with this skill gap because that's what it is, right? It's a gap where they're finding it difficult to manage their big emotions or communicate what they need, or at least they're not doing that consistently. So this can look like lashing out. It can look like throwing things. It can look like withdrawing, like shutting down, not listening. It can look like screaming, I hate you, right? Things like this. And there's so many different ways and so many different situations that it turns up. It's not as simple as, oh, you're having some big feelings. This is what we're doing, right? Because it's it comes at us unexpected because we're, just getting on with life. You might be in cooking the dinner, you might be trying to rush out the door for school, you might be in the middle of a shop, you might be planning the most fun, amazing day ever, and then, whew, it all hits, right? So it can take you off guard. And when they're feeling overwhelmed, they're feeling off, they're feeling worried, anything like that, they might not just communicate that. It might just come out in these different stress responses. And when we say, just take a breath, just calm down, and they're not able to do that, it's not that helpful. That's why it just doesn't work. So what do we do instead? That's what we really want to know, right? What do we do? What can we do? So there are three things I want to share with you today. So the first one is to co-regulate before you educate. So for those that have been with me a while at the moment, we just did the co-regulation challenge where we spoke a lot about the importance of co-regulation. And this is really where we're focusing on connection. We're focused on that grounding energy that our child needs. That whole, be the calm in their storm. It's not easy all the time to do that, right? And we can't fake it. It's something we can absolutely not fake. You can't do it through gritted teeth. So we do need to be working on our own regulation practices, our own nervous system care. This is why I absolutely love the tapping practices every single morning, which again, I will link more about that in the notes because I just so helpful, right? If you're gonna co-regulate, look after your own nervous system, please, because they do notice. It's like our nervous systems speak to each other. Okay, so if we are feeling more regulated within ourselves, or at least we can access that in stressful moments, because we're going to get dysregulated, right? That's normal, that's life. We're not going to be calm all the time, but if we can access that regulation more easily when our thinking brain goes offline and we can bring it back, then we're going to be able to support our child much more easily in those moments. Your nervous system helps to regulate theirs. The next thing I want to share with you is modeling the breath instead of demanding it. And so, what I mean by this is just visibly and audibly breathing those slow, intentional breaths nearby so they know you are there, you are with them, you're not trying to rush them through any of their big feelings, you're not trying to tell them what to do, you're simply and this isn't like in a dismissive way, right? We want to be listening to them if they're talking to us. But as I said a moment ago, our nervous system is speaking to their nervous system. So when we're doing this, they're going to feel that as well. And they may even start to match your breath, match that rhythm. And it just invites them into that calm energy. It's kind of like, oh, wait, this isn't a big emergency. This isn't this huge thing that I feel like it is right now, where it just, that feeling when it just feels like a complete emergency. I get this all the time when we're late. I absolutely hate being late and it feels like an emergency and my body just goes all tense and I'm like, go, 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 become like a drill sergeant and it just feels like a lot. And then I have to remind myself, oh, wait, like this isn't an emergency. We can't go faster than we're already going. Let's just do this without it being a big emergency. The most important thing, though, this is like the thing I share about all the time. I just think this is the biggest thing, is to practice when they're not upset, when they're not dysregulated. So this is where our family yoga practices come in. These playful, fun, practicing breath work together, practicing our yoga poses, movement, doing all this together in a fun way. Because when we are doing this, this is building their regulation skills. It's giving them something that they can reach for next time they are feeling dysregulated. And I can remember even as young as like 4, my child going into school and doing the tracing hand breath when they were feeling overwhelmed, or the candle breathing, blowing out each candle, and they would even share that with their friends, and it was so cute. But it's effective as well, right? It's really supporting them and it gives them something that they can use even when you're not there, when they're at school, when they're in a different situation, they haven't got you to co regulate with them. They've practiced this, they know it works, they know they like it, and they've practiced it so much it becomes more readily available to them in that stressful moment. So this is where that self-regulation comes in, right? We've practiced the co-regulation. They're starting to self-regulate now, and that is amazing, right? it is so, so good to give them these skills that they can access whenever they need it. They don't need anything fancy. They don't even need that calm, grounding energy from someone else, because they can access that calm within, because you have given them the tools to do this. And this is it, right? The truth is, emotional regulation is like riding a bike. It's a skill. It's one that is taught. We show them how to do it, and you wouldn't expect them to master it straight away. It does take practice. So if you do it, once or twice and you think, oh, this isn't working, no, you have to keep going consistently. I still need my regulation practices, right? Because we're not going to reach a point where I go, oh, I'm just calm and zen all the time now, and there's nothing ever stressful going to happen. That doesn't come. It doesn't come. There's always something to kind of test that, right? I think just especially as a parent and having everyone else's emotions as well, trying to be that calm and grounded presence, um, it's a lot. So we do need to keep practicing this for ourselves and together. So often I find people have higher expectations of children than they do for themselves or for other adults. They say you're acting like a baby, you're acting like a toddler. No, no, because if a grown up was acting like that, they'd be like, oh, you're just having a bad day. They'd be listening to them, they'd be sympathetic. But for some reason, they think kids should just know better. And no, kids have bad days too. Kids need our support, and we can absolutely help them to build their emotional regulation skills and help them with resilience as well. Okay, so our goal isn't that they are calm and grounded all the time, it's that they know how to come back to that. And that is the really important thing. They know how to come back to it, and they know how to feel all their emotions, right? That it's not a bad thing to feel anger, that we can have anger and there's a reason for that anger, but we can feel that without smashing a plate or throwing a shoe or whatever it is, right? So the bottom line that we got to remember is your child is not giving you a hard time. They're having a hard time. Take a deep breath. Only works when the nervous system feels safe and ready, not when our logical side of the brain is offline. And what helps most is connection, not correction, right? So, yes, we might not like the behavior. We might want to have a chat about the behavior in a moment. But let's focus on that connection first. Help them to regulate. The most important thing to remember here, though, is that you are doing enough. You are doing amazing. The fact that you're here listening to this or watching this shows that you do care and you do want to show up for your child and support them with their big emotions, with their emotional regulation skills. So, like, be gentle with yourself too, because that's going to really support everyone, right? You matter too. You deserve this care for yourself. So I will link all of the things that I mentioned in the notes. And if you haven't already, grab my free guide. It's 5 must know breathing practices for children. And I deliver these over 3 days as well, just to help you actually practice them, right? It doesn't help to just know them. We have to be practicing them consistently. I was practicing one breathing technique with one of my classes recently. And one of the children said, "Well, I know this one. We practiced this last year." It was a cooling breath, right? Because it was a hot day. So this is one that I like to teach in the summer. I know this one. I was like, "Okay, have you been practicing it?" No. It's like, well, that's why we're going to be practicing it here today, because it doesn't help to know them. We need to be practicing them. So go grab that free guide. It has some videos as well to help you with each practice, and can just have some fun, be playful with it, and really support your children with these practices. So if you want that, all the information is in the notes. Thank you so much for listening, and I shall see you again real soon. Take care.